Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Melee on Lockdown. I'm doing the my Book of Four Things class. See the first video for introduction on that, and uh, in the first video, I talked about the four things. The basically four tactical options you have in any given situation as a melee unit, and they are engaging lightly, wrapping the left, wrapping the right, flanking left, flanking right, and charging. Um, and they are, and that's the sequence in which they are easiest to execute. So we talked about line engagement, engaging lightly in the first one, and now we're going to talk about flanking, left and right, because they work the same way. So what it is, well, there are two ways to flank. You can flank hard. You can like crush a flank. You can run the right, run the left. Are all terms for the same thing. Or you can kind of soft flank, is how I view it. So let's talk about hard flanks, running the right, running the left. What it is. It's when you move really fast to run around the end of a line. So we've got Nemo up here, and if the sea creatures want to flank the dinosaurs, and they want to do a hard flank, they run very quickly to here. And ideally, this is how they end up. Basically a killing cup around one fighter who quickly dies, and then they can go down the line. If you start executing a very fast run the right from way outside of measure, your opponent's going to know what you're doing, and they're going to stop you. So it has to, this sort of engagement, this sort of fast action to flank, happens when you're at engagement measure or just outside. It's more common in small unit melee, in that way that I just demonstrated, and it's best executed when the enemy is static or moving forward slowly or moving backwards. Moving forward slowly. If an enemy is moving backwards, flanking them is going to be hard. Flanking them at speed is going to be hard. You can, in a big, long line engagement, task these people to start pressing this side, and they might run over here really quickly. That's not going to be the same as taking your entire unit and moving it into a J-hook around the back of the enemy unit. When should you not flank aggressively? When they have friends in the backfield. If they brought backup, Nemo running around the end here is going to run right into, might be Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's a very pretty Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it doesn't have any feathers. Or if you call run the right and your unit isn't ready, doesn't know what's going to come, they're going to stand there and watch you run, right? Say Nemo's in charge. He comes up here and says, and maybe he's told his unit that that's going to be the command. Maybe they might know, but probably they don't. He comes up here and yells, run right, and he takes off. Krabby here is going to go, huh? What? Wait, oh, right, and start moving. But notice how just way out of position they are. If Nemo didn't get picked off by Hadrosaur, Krabby's going to be. And Nemo's just told the enemy what they're doing. And given the enemy plenty of time to respond. So, what do? Like I said, you execute this just outside of engagement. So, you're not quite here where you're really, if Turtle starts running this way, he's going to have to run through everybody's shots. But as you're here, as you're coming to engagement, or as they're about to come to your engagement, you run the right or run the left. I can also run the left is the same way, except that you can't see past. Again, it's not Smilodon. What is his name? Anyway, so I'm just going to demonstrate everything as run the right. Nemo here, leading our run. They get around, and really, he has some choices. If he focuses on Hadrosaur, these other 4 guys, this guy's getting killed by 5 people at once, but these other 4 guys aren't occupied at all. Really, these guys are probably like, hey, where did those guys just go? Nemo has a golden opportunity. Hadrosaur's freaking out because he doesn't know he doesn't know what's going on. He's surrounded. He's panicky. Nemo can do whatever he wants. He can jump on Hadrosaur. If there's DFB, he can come DFB somebody. And then he gets to use his judgment. Or clownfish, they can change genders. So she gets to use her judgment. And she can DFB big scary pink dinosaur. Maybe that one's the commander. Or go from here, and if there's some target over that way, gone. Hadrosaur's dead. They've got the 4-on-4. They're in chaos. Nemo can go do something even more glorious. If you're playing Capture the Flag, you can go capture the flag. So yeah, if there's no DFB, what does Nemo do from this position? Well, then he probably is going to want to mess with this unit here. Getting into the backfield when there's no DFB is always an interesting proposition because the marshals will tell you, well, you can foul the enemy's blades, or you can shout stuff to confuse them. If you've commanded a unit, you know that your own team doesn't hear your commands. So if you're in the backfield of the enemy yelling commands, they probably aren't going to hear those either. You can foul blades, that's true. But that's like come up here and then start smacking blades. And remember what I said in the line class. If you're smacking blades here, that's also smacking turtles' blades and octopus's blades. Really, I sort of suggest fouling blades with murderous intent, and I'll talk through that a little bit later. But basically, you don't just foul blades. You foul blades, step in front of the opponent and say, hold your dagger at them and say, would you like to yield? If you're very polite. If you're me, you just give them a little nudge with the dagger point so they know, and then you move on to the next one. That's why I prefer DFB. Nobody likes that sudden surprise. Someone's standing in front of you and they've got their dagger on you. DFB is easier. It's nicer. Gentler. So, let's see. What else do we have here? Get behind the front line. If Nemo does stop running, like I said, this unit can adjust. So, if Nemo stops running here, these people all pile up, and this unit crushes in a counter flank. So Nemo keeps running. Really, Krabby keeps running, but it lets Turtle and Octopus get far away from the enemy counter flanking that's going to happen. And Hadrosaur's still outnumbered 3-1, and then Jurassic Park T-Rex, whatever that one was. Nope. The Made in China source. If skirmishers can do this, but not well. Because if you take these guys and do it and run, Krabby gets around. Hadrosaur is kind of like, why did that guy just do that? About the time that Nemo's getting here. And, little Krabby. And then Pink Krabby is stuck with all of these people still in the world, still very aware of what he's doing and about to kill him. So how do you defeat it? Well, Hadrosaur down here can do a couple of things. He can, let's put Nemo back here. As Nemo starts to come around, Hadrosaur can step out sideways. Basically, countering the flanking action with an identical flanking action, so they just end up moving laterally. Turtle's running along, octopus is running along, and maybe that stops the run. If Nemo keeps running sideways and Hadrosaur tracks, though, well, now there's a flank, and Turtle can get around in the back. And so there's a 4-on-1, and Turtle has a couple choices. He can go engage the backfield over here, or he can peel off over here, relieve Nemo, and then Nemo and Turtle go crush. So if you are Hadrosaur and you're stepping out, don't step out too far. Instead, you can step out to stop it, and if that doesn't stop it, if Nemo keeps wrapping around, now angle back this way. Fall back. That way, that gives, if Turtle tries to run into this, he runs onto your sword. And gives this fighter time to adjust. And basically the line ends up just turned 45 degrees. The worst thing that can happen, and what the team running the right or left hopes happens, is that Hadrosaur turns here and steps it back. And, from here, he steps back, Dinosaur here goes down, Ankylosaurus is now yelling because somebody fell on him, and meanwhile, all of this is dead. If you're Hadrosaur, don't turn around, don't just turn 90 degrees and back up. Step out diagonally. If they give you enough of a warning, if they execute from too far out, step out to meet the charge this way. Because now, here, let me mime that through slower. Step out to meet the charge here, and Nemo runs into Hadrosaur, and this Turtle, who was expecting to kind of run this way, is now suddenly full in the face of the dinosaur, of Jurassic Park dinosaur. The other option, and what ends up happening really in all of this is that either you revert to light engagement as a line fight, or you end up kind of skirmishing. It just draws the line out. But it's an option. If you can jump on that trigger and run right as a unit, get around on the flank, it works really well. Who do you want to lead the run? Well, you don't want Turtle to lead the run because Turtle is slow. Here. Bringing everybody back on frame. Who do you want to lead the run the right? You don't want Turtle because Turtle is slow, right? Turtle's going to set off this way. If you want to pull Hadrosaur's attention, pull Hadrosaur off, Nemo's a good choice because Nemo has a white collar. So, Nemo starts, the master of defense, Nemo, starts running this way, and Hadrosaur tracks on her because, oh my god, and also our little Jurassic Park dinosaur is going to track too because there's a mod running around on our left flank. Now Turtle can just work his way in here. You don't want to attack the highly skilled defensive fighter, Ankylosaurus. You don't want to run that flank, if at all possible. You want to run the other one. This guy. This guy is a reptile. He's not fast. Reptiles are slow. And I'm sure somebody out there with a pet lizard is going to correct me on that. Okay. The other option is to counter with a charge. You basically abandon Ankylosaurus to die. But if you read what's about to happen, if your team is about to get wrapped, you're seeing this, and you read what's about to happen, you yell, charge, and And as the enemy team starts to space out as they run, because they will space out, you just plow on through that trailing edge. I think that's enough for this video, so we'll do another video for flanking, and we'll talk about soft flanking and how that ends up looking. That one's going to want some extra space anyway, so we'll get a higher vantage point of the living room carpet and all of the toys.